Hi, I'm Tulip, and I live with my mom and twin sister Jasmine. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. My dad has always worked abroad, so growing up, we would only see him once every 2 years. If cameras hadn't been invented, I would have forgotten what he looks like. Growing up, I was a really naughty kid, but Jasmine was my mom's dream child. She'd always have perfect grades and perfect manners, and Mom just adored her. But she found fault with everything I did and kept comparing me to stupid Jasmine. Like once in 5th grade, our mean old English teacher walked in and hit the desk loudly with her stick.
Quiet! Take out your notebooks and start writing a letter to your mom.
But I just put my legs on the desk and replied, "Miss, why would I write a letter to my mom when I already live with her?" And then I burped loudly. The whole class burst out laughing. And of course, the teacher wasn't amused. I was immediately sent to the principal and Mom was called in.
Even a gorilla has better manners. Please teach her to act like a lady.
As we left school, Jasmine smirked at me while Mom screamed.
Tulip, is this what I've taught you? Were you born to embarrass me? Why can't you be more like Jasmine?
Oh, Mom, I respect you so much. And just look at her. She's just shameless. I feel sorry for a great woman like you.
I'm talking to you, Tulip.
And then I was grounded for a week. I didn't have good grades, but I had an amazing eye for fashion, and I could make dresses for myself out of anything. Once at Halloween, I made myself a beautiful costume, and even Mom looked impressed, but then suddenly her expression changed.
Where have I seen this cloth before? Wait, oh my God. Tulip, did you use my favorite gown?
Yes, Mom. Sadly, your gown had to die for my new costume. She started screaming at me, and I just ran away. I didn't really change much until high school. One Sunday, we received a letter from Dad, and Mom looked super excited. Jasmine and I started snatching it from each other because we both wanted to read it first, and it got torn to pieces. Mom scolded us a lot. She glued it back and then read it out loud.
I am not coming back. I found my true love. Please don't wait for me.
Wait, what? Jasmine and I stared at each other as Mom turned paper white. She felt dizzy and crashed straight to the floor, hitting her head. We called an ambulance and took her to the hospital immediately. She was conscious soon, but then we had the most shocking news. It turned out that her brain had suffered an injury, and now she had the mind of a 5-year-old. Mom was now practically a baby. She was acting really fussy, so the next day, we took her to a restaurant to cheer her up. When the waitress said we'd get our food in 20 minutes, Mom looked furious. She started banging her spoon on the table and shouting, "I want food now! I want now! Now, now, now!" I tried to calm her as everyone stared at us, but then suddenly, Jasmine rose from her seat and shouted at her, "Just shut up, you crazy woman! God, this is so embarrassing. I'm out of here." I was stunned. She stormed off, and as Mom's eyes filled with tears, I quickly hugged her. "Mom, our food is almost here. You just have to count to 10. Come on, count with me. 1, 2, 3. And by the time we got to 10, thankfully our food arrived. I realized then how serious Mom's condition was, and I just had to grow up and take care of her the best I could. Jasmine took no interest in Mom, but I would drop her at her neighbor's when I went to school and pick her up on my way back. I started searching for stuff about Mom's illness on the internet, and the only possible cure was a head surgery that was super expensive. I vowed that I would work really hard so I could afford it for Mom one day. I started focusing on my studies, and within weeks, my grades were the highest in class, and all my teachers were praising me. This clearly made Jasmine jealous, because soon after I found her in the cafeteria with my biggest rival, Eva. She'd always hated me because kids liked me for my jokes and pranks, while no one liked her much. She was just a mean jerk, and now Jasmine and Eva were chatting away like they were best friends. My enemy list was updated. One day at the cafeteria, I noticed that I'd forgotten to bring my wallet and wouldn't be able to buy lunch. But just then I heard Mom behind me. "Tulip, Tulip, I got you money. No more rats in your tummy." She was running towards me, waving my wallet, when suddenly she slipped and fell on the floor. I rushed to her to make sure she was okay, but I heard people around me laughing, and the loudest was Eva.
Is that your mom? She looks like an idiot.
Please hire a nanny for your stupid baby mom. Hearing that, Mom burst into tears, and I snapped. I pounced at Eva and pinned her down to the floor, twisting her arm behind her. Say you're sorry to her. Say sorry now, or I'll really make you regret it.
Ow, okay. I'm sorry, Tulip's mom. I'm very sorry.
I left her and ran to Mom, who was still crying. Mom, you're not supposed to follow me to school, okay? You have to wait for me. Come now, let's go home. As I took her hand and let her out, I stopped by Jasmine and gave her a kick that made her howl with pain. That's for being the worst daughter on the planet and being friends with people like Eva. Shame on you. And I left with Mom. A few days later in school, I saw a poster on the bulletin board about a fashion competition where each contestant had to design one gown. The winner would get a chance to do an internship at a big designer company. I immediately signed up for it, but just then, Eva pushed me aside and signed up too. Ugh, get lost, loser. Why would someone like you know about fashion? This competition is meant for beautiful girls like me. I really enjoyed beating your butt that day, Eva, and I'll make sure you're crying at the end of the competition too. I just walked away before she could reply. I'd show her. A couple of days later, as I was leaving school, I saw Jasmine and Eva from a distance, and they seemed to be having a huge fight. I just ignored them and went home. But later that evening, there was a knock on my door and Jasmine walked in, looking embarrassed. What do you want? Listen, I know you're really mad at me. I haven't handled Mom's situation well, and I was a coward for not standing up for her. But today, Eva made fun of her again, and I just lost it. I slapped her so hard, I don't think she'll ever mess with me again. Well, I'm just glad you've finally come to your senses. She's a mean, jealous brat. She could never be a good friend to anyone. I got up and hugged her, and when Jasmine saw I was working on my sample for the competition, she offered to help. I told her I wanted to make a really unique design that would help me win the competition, and she seemed super excited by my idea. We worked really hard on it day and night, and I was happy with the result. At the competition, everybody presented their designs one by one, but when Eva's turn came before mine, I saw that her sample looked exactly like the one I'd prepared with Jasmine. The two looked at me and gave me devilish smiles. Okay, so my sister was a poisonous snake who'd pretended to fight with Eva, and then stole my design and gave it to her. I climbed onto the stage with a defeated face, and just then, I took the cloth off my mannequin, and Eva's and Jasmine's jaws dropped. It wasn't the one I'd prepared with Jasmine, because I knew exactly what she was up to. My real sample was far more beautiful, and the judges looked really impressed. And when the results were announced, I was declared the winner. I was given some prize money and the internship. Oh, you look so happy, Tulip. Like you're some big designer now. You're just a big fool. An internship isn't gonna get you anywhere. The fashion business needs money. I have a filthy rich mom, and what does your mom have? Forget money. She doesn't even have a brain. Something really stinks, Eva, and I think it's you. I smell a really sore loser. Just then I saw Mom standing in a corner, clapping really hard. I pushed Eva aside and ran to her. Mom, how did you get here? I told you not to leave home without me. I wanted to see your shop. I wanted to buy one dress from you. See, I have $1. There's no shop, sweetie, but you can have this dress for free. You'll look like a princess in it. Come, we'll go home and try it on. Later that evening, I found Jasmine taking out some cash from Mom's drawers, but the minute she saw me, she stuffed it into her pocket, and I tried to take it away. What are you doing? Give that back. Ugh, you're such a what? A witch? Do I look like a witch? I might look like a witch, but I'm not one. Let me go. And she pushed me away really hard. I am gonna go live with Eva. She's rich and has a great business plan. Within a month, my money will be doubled and I will rule the fashion world. A crazy dumb mom and an ugly sister won't get me anywhere. So, you're taking $500 from here and after 1 month, you'll rule the fashion world? Take it and just go away. You're such a selfish moron. I pushed her aside really hard and stormed off. A few minutes later, I saw her leaving with her suitcases. Good riddance. My internship started after a week, and it was a great experience. But I realized Eva was right about one thing. Starting your own business isn't easy for people with no money. Then I got an idea. I bought a few used clothes and transformed them into beautiful pieces. I took pictures of them and went back with my portfolio to the bank for a loan. But the loan officer took one look at my folder and tossed it aside.
Sorry, ma'am. We can't just give you a loan on the basis of this trash you're showing us. If your startup idea fails, you won't be able to return our money.
But sir, just give me a chance. I'm sure I'm not gonna fail.
Yeah, that's what every loser who comes in here says. Please, don't waste our time, ma'am. Good day.
And they literally pushed me out of the bank. I was walking back home feeling completely defeated when suddenly a fancy car stopped by me and someone rolled down a window. I saw it was one of the competition judges. Well, hello. A Tulip, right? Yes, you were the winner, but honey, why do you look so upset? She asked me to get into the car and I told her everything on the way. As she flicked through my designs, she looked really impressed. Those bank people are idiots. You're clearly really talented. And then, to my shock, she offered me a job at her company for a really good salary. And of course, I instantly accepted. I worked for her for the next few years, and I even got my fashion degree by studying on the side. After graduation, I had enough experience and savings to start my own little business. And over the years, it grew more and more. One day, I had to interview a candidate for the post of a manager. She was waiting for me in my office, and when I walked in with my secretary, I was shocked to see the candidate was Eva.
Tulip, you're here for an interview? Well, I told you starting a fashion business isn't for you, but you just wouldn't listen to me. Just then, my secretary spoke up. Miss Tulip is the owner of the company. She will be taking your interview.
And Eva's eyes nearly fell out of her head.
Miss Tulip, this lady informed me that her fashion company failed miserably, but it means that she does have some experience in the field. She might be a good candidate.
This interview ends now. I know Miss Eva really well, and I wouldn't hire her to even pick up my garbage. I only want good people on my team, and you, Eva, just don't belong here. Now please, get lost. And Eva burst into tears and went out running. She deserved it. A few days later, Mom's surgery was scheduled and we were flying to New York for it. Just as I was taking the luggage out, I saw someone hugging Mom. It was freaking Jasmine. Oh my God, Mom, I missed you so much. And you too, Tulip. I went by your office and they told me you were taking time off for Mom's surgery. Is it true? She'll be fixed now? We'll have our amazing Mom back. The one who used to adore me? I pulled her away from Mom. That amazing Mom never left. You did, Jasmine. She would have loved you and adored you if you had let her, but you didn't want anything to do with her when she needed you the most. Jasmine suddenly fell down on her knees and started crying. I made a huge mistake, Tulip. Huge! I can't believe I was such a fool and turned away from my amazing family. Please forgive me. And I promise I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you both. No, Jasmine. I'm afraid you'll only spend the rest of your life regretting your bad decisions. Your crazy dumb mom and ugly sister have no space in their lives for you. And with that, I took Mom's hand and we got into the cab waiting for us and left.